What makes you happy?
Be yourself, be positive. Just another mindset.
Hello, friends, and welcome to a new episode of the Just Another Mindset podcast, the show that inspires you to live a more exciting life. My name is Ismael, and each week I bring to you a relevant conversation, theme, or topic that will not only entertain you, but that will help you to live a more satisfying and meaningful life, individually and collectively. Let's get inspired and embrace collective changes for the better. In today's solo episode, I want to share a few tools and techniques for gratitude, why I think it's important to show gratitude, and what each and everybody can do in order to be more thankful in life. And with that, I hope that you enjoy the episode and learn from it. So why should you listen today? Having gratitude and being thankful helps you to boost your mental health, and it is proven that people who are grateful have fewer physical symptoms of illness. Being grateful can help you to accept changes much better, and it can lead to greater goal attainment. And last but not least, it can release stress and decrease anxiety, among other health benefits. So what are the key takeaways of today's episode? First, that being grateful has tremendous effects on your mental and your physical health. Second, that being thankful is easy and it really does not require a lot of effort. And third, that the understanding of what you are grateful for is the first step in altering your understanding of your life. I have some books that I want to credit before jumping into the topic. The first one would be Alliance Trekker's Guide to Life by Boyd Vardy. Another book that reminds me to be more grateful is Humankind by Rutger Bregman. A nice daily read is the book by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman, The Daily Stoic. And last but not least, Letters from a Stoic from Seneca. So what is gratitude and why is it so important? If you look for a definition of gratitude, it's the ability to be thankful, and it's the readiness to show appreciation and to return kindness. And why is it important to be grateful? Well, to be honest, there's a lot of benefits that you get from being grateful and from enjoying life, from living a happy life. It improves your physical health, it improves your sleep, and it also improves your psychological health. It increases empathy and reduces aggression. Usually, it leads to more social interactions, and it enhances your self-esteem by improving your mental health. And I want to take some time to talk about gratitude, because lately I got reminded that it is super important to be grateful. I try to be grateful for as many things in life as I can. I know that I'm super privileged. I know that I have a good passport. I know that I'm happy to travel the world. I know that I also can be happy and thankful to be able to live the lifestyle and live the life that I want to live. And lately, I boarded an airplane, and airplanes are getting much more crowded again. And by the minute that I entered the airplane, I looked at all the other passengers. The flight was in fact fully booked, and everybody seemed to be miserable. Everybody was sad, everybody was angry. And that was a really good reminder for myself that gratitude, that being thankful is such a big change in life. If you choose to be grateful, if you choose to be thankful that you are able to board a flight, if you choose to show gratitude to the people working in the airplane, in the airport, and all around, if you can show gratitude to the pilot, to the flight attendants, to all the people working at the airport, it alters your understanding of reality, and it certainly makes it much more fun. So for that, I thought I want to share 11 tools and tricks to be more grateful, and I really hope that they help you to be more thankful in life, and I really hope that they help you to live a more exciting life. And of course, I'm more than happy to hear back from you if you like what you hear, and if you have additional hints and tricks to be more grateful, to be more thankful in life, and what you would recommend to the Just Another Mindset community. The first exercise I want to share with you is to make thank you your very good friend and to watch your language. So the first thing I invite you to do is today, or even over the next 3 days, that you keep track on how often you say thank you. So please write down the amount of thank yous you say throughout the day. And as you probably can imagine, we are trying to increase the number of thank yous. So now, go ahead and practice gratefulness. Say thank you to your friends, say thank you to your colleagues at work, and say thank you to strangers in the street. And keep track of it. You can find different ways on how to count your thank yous. And I invite you to look back after 30 days. Try for 30 days to say thank you as often as you can. And now come back to the list that you created in the very beginning. How often did you say thank you when you first listened to the podcast or the 3 days afterwards? And how often are you saying thank you today? How much more often do you say thank you? And is there any change that you can share with us? Is there any positivity that is the result of being more grateful, of saying thank you to yourself, to your friends, to your family, and to your colleagues? What is the feedback that you may be getting? Did people around you notice that you say thank you more often, that you mean it, and are you a happier person? Please feel free to share what this small and easy exercise did for you and if it's helpful or not. And also remember to not gossip and talk badly about anyone. This will certainly not help you to be more grateful, more thankful, but it will cause the opposite. The second exercise I want to share with you is to make a list of things that you are grateful for. This can be a very fast exercise, but this can also take some time. So again, I invite you to take a blank sheet of paper and to write down all the things that come to mind when I would ask you, what are you thankful for in life? This could be your nationality and your passport. This could be your access to education. This could be the people that are surrounding you. This could be so many different things. This could be things that happened today. This could be things that happened for life. It can be so many different things. And I really invite you to write those down and give them some structure. A structure that I usually use is the following. What is the activity or the thing that makes me grateful? What is the time horizon? Is it something that occurs daily, weekly, monthly? Is it something that happened recently, or is it something that has been there all my life? Another dimension is, whom does it occur with? Is it something that you experience by yourself? Is it something that you experience with your friends or with your colleagues at work? Or is it something that you experience with strangers? What is the relative effort and reward? Is it low or high effort? Is it a reward? Is it a big one? Is it a small one? Is it a medium one? You can classify all the different activities, all the different things on your list for being grateful. Another categorization that can help here is to look at your senses. What do you touch, see, hear, taste, or smell that you are thankful for? And finally, I also invite you to look at things that are absent. You're not sick. You have 2 legs that you can walk with. You are born in a country that there is no war. There's a lot of things that may seem normal that are not normal for each and everybody. So also try to think about stuff that is absent of yours that you can be grateful for. If you take a look at the list now that you've completed it, please feel free to share how long it is. Please let us know if this exercise helps you to get an understanding of how many things there are that you can actually be thankful for. And please tell us if it changed your perspective on life a little bit, that you understood that there's a lot of things that you can be grateful and thankful for, and that the some challenges that all of us have probably do not outweigh the list of nice activities, things, and stuff that we can be grateful for. After you wrote down a general list of things that you are grateful for, I would invite you to continue with step number 3. And this is to start with being grateful early in the morning. Do good things first thing in the morning. Keep a daily record of what made you feel good on a daily basis. And this could really be the smallest things at work, on your commute, in your community. Write the small things down and take a moment to appreciate them. Be grateful for what just happened to you, for all the small nice gestures, for all the small nice things that happen to all of us throughout the day. If you start your day off with positive feelings, it will help you to get through the day, to go through the day rather, in a more positive and optimistic mood. This will impact not only yourself, but also the people surrounding you. And therefore, you increase the degree of happiness and excitement by doing so. And you can make focusing on the good things a habit. If you have something that you do every morning anyways, combine it. If you already have a cup of coffee or tea in the morning, why don't you add having a sheet of paper around and writing down 3 things that you are grateful for every morning? Or you choose to tell a friend or even a colleague at work about those 3 things that made you grateful, that you are happy about experiencing, having, or being. Creating a habit that reminds you of your luck, of your hard work, and of things that you can be thankful for will help you to start your day and to continue your day in a more happy manner. And the 3 things that make you happy, that you are grateful for, lead us to the 4th tool or exercise. This is one I really like, and this is one which can have a tremendous effect on your excitement, and it can help you to get through rougher times. It's called the gratitude jar, and it really is what the name suggests. So the first step is to find an empty jar. I would suggest you take a big one, because probably you will need some space there. And second, you want to decorate the jar. Or maybe you don't. The choice is of course yours. But make sure that the jar looks appealing to you and that you want to take a look at it each and every day. Make it your own jar. Now what you want to do is to think of at least 3 things that you are grateful for throughout this day. You can of course write down those 3 things early in the morning, as we discussed earlier, or you split them. Write down 1 in the morning, 1 over lunch, and 1 in the evening. Or you may even choose to write down 3 things in the evening. What you want to do for sure is write down those 3 things, or those at least 3 things, on 3 individual slips of paper. Once you wrote those 3 things, those 3 experiences, those 3 somethings down that you are grateful for, put them into the jar and close the jar again. Over time, you will find that you have a jar full of good memories, full of grateful moments, always in your reach. And it will show you that you have a life that is worth enjoying and living. And obviously, it will cultivate your habit of expressing thankfulness. And if you ever feel particularly bad or sad, open the jar and take out a few reasons why your life is so worthy living. Be reminded by the small slips what you can and should be thankful for, what you are grateful for in life, and why is such a beautiful time to be around. And again, I would be super interested if you heard about the gratitude jar before, if you use or have used it. What was the difference of mood? What did you experience over time? How did it change your life? Or how did it change the behavior? This is of course something you can also practice with your children, with your partner, or with somebody you care about. The 5th exercise I want to share with you guys is to try to avoid negative and violent movies and press as good as you can. Don't consume destructive content all the time, just because it's there. Instead, watch inspiring movies and read inspiring articles of what's happening in the world, that's good. Post quotes and images that remind you and others around you to be grateful, to be thankful, and also inform people about the good things that are happening in life. Try to consume as much good media as possible, such as the Smile News. Media that focuses on the good things in life, not on all the catastrophes we have, not on all the violent encounters we have, but focus on what's happening that's good for you, for your community, for you, the environment, for the society, and for the planet as a whole. If you only focus on the good things, and I'm not saying you have to blind out all the negative aspects, but if you put your focus on the good things and what's good, you will improve your well-being over time as well. Talk to people and tell them what you appreciate about them, what you appreciate about the changes in the world, and what you appreciate about being part of such. And that leads me to exercise number 6 I want to share with you guys. And that is a gratitude journal. It's similar to the gratitude jar, and you may argue that having both is a little bit too much. And you may choose for yourself if you want to have either or, if you want to try both, if you want to experiment, and if you want to see which works better for you, or if you maybe in fact want to keep both. The idea is very simple, and the idea is again to give you all the freedom if you recall moments of joy and of happiness. And if you do that in a regular basis over time, it gives you the potential to interweave a sustainable theme of gratefulness into your life. And it also gives you all the benefits that we discussed earlier. Your mental health, your psychological health, your memory. A lot of things are affected by being happy and by being grateful. For the gratitude journal, you choose the format that works best for you. Is it something that you want to write every day? Is it something that you want to write and allocate time for every Sunday, every Monday, or once a week? The choice is again yours. But I would like to share some advice. Some things that worked for me and you may or may not choose to use as well. First of all, if you write about gratitude, if you write about moments that make you thankful, try to be as specific as possible. Try to write down the names of the people that were around. Try to describe your mood, your senses. Try to be as specific as possible when writing down the good memory. And if you can, go for depth over breadth. Describe in good detail what it triggered. What happened to you? What are you thankful for? Was it this particular word? Was it this particular moment that something happened? Try to describe as detailed as possible why it made you grateful and why you're thankful for having experienced that particular moment or thing or experience. The third advice, get personal. Link good memories to people. Understand, or rather create an understanding of people that make you happy, of people that you are thankful to have in your life. And you can try to start seeing the good things as gifts in life. The good things that happen to you are gifts for you and gifts in your life. The fifth one is to recognize surprises. If something surprisingly nice happens to you, to your community, to something that you care about, write it down and don't forget about it. And after some time you will see that a lot of good surprises happen to you because you keep track of such. And again, I would encourage you to write down your thoughts, to keep a regular journal. You don't have to write 3 times a day, 5 times a day. Find a schedule, find a cadence that works best for you. For some of us, for some of you guys, it might be good to write every day and to incorporate the gratitude journal into something that you do in the morning or in the evening. But for some of us, and for some of you guys, it might be better to do it once a week and to allocate time for structuring your thoughts then. Both are approaches that I use and that I have used, and there is no right and wrong. Every night before going to bed, in fact, I write down what I'm thankful for throughout the day. And once a week, I allocate time to summarize the week, and to write down what I'm thankful for. Those notes certainly help me to get through times where I should be reminded of what I could and what I should be thankful in life for. Exercise number 7 can be combined with the gratitude journal, but it also can stand alone by itself. And I call it to include an act of kindness into your everyday. Just yesterday, I spoke to a very good friend of mine who's also going through a lot of changes lately. And he told me that he has this very practice. He told me about his act of kindness. And it can be really anything again. It can be collecting garbage from the street or from the beach that you live close by to. It can be to help someone, your friend, your family member, someone living in the same house, in the same city. It could even be something that you do for a stranger. It doesn't have to be huge, but of course it can be. You can really decide what works best, but try to remind yourself to at least find one act of kindness per day. If you really liked the coffee shop you had your coffee earlier today, why don't you write a review so that they can attract more customers? Why don't you share the joy that you experience from having good food at a good restaurant? And why don't you let people know if you had a good experience otherwise? Again, talk to people and let them know why they are awesome and what you appreciate about them and about the activities and experiences that they create. Number 8 is having a no complain day. We talked about complaining here and there in this podcast. And I also shared with you in the very beginning of this podcast what initially motivated me to talk about gratitude today. People, and especially people in Western Europe, tend to complain a lot. We tend to forget what all we have. This is why in the earlier steps we wrote down all the things that we can be grateful for. But we should also be reminded that complaining is the exact opposite of what we have been trying to do for the past 20 minutes or so. If you complain a lot, if you always see what you don't have, if you always try to blame other people for stuff that happens in your life, it really is a downward spiral and it doesn't help. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't help anyone if you start complaining. And therefore, I really invite you to choose a day or even multiple days per week and commit 100% in not complaining. Obviously, in the beginning, it will not be easy if you tend to be someone who complained a lot earlier. Again, it doesn't matter where you start. It only matters that you want to change something. So if you are someone who complains a lot, you could even do the very same like we did with the list of things that you are grateful in the very beginning. Write down how often you complain throughout a normal day, and then commit to a particular day that you will not complain, maybe throughout the whole weekend. And maybe over time you will manage not to complain at all. And again, I would be super thrilled to hear from you if this exercise in particular helps you to live a happier life and to complain less. And from complaining, we go to appreciation. Bullet number 9 is to appreciate your food. This is something I stumbled across lately in a podcast episode, and I really like the idea of doing so. And this is something I must say I haven't implemented myself fully yet, but it is to appreciate your food. As you may know, I really do like good food. I like cooking and I like preparing food. And ever so often, we make food, we spend quite a good amount of time in the kitchen, and then we eat. If we are lucky, we eat together with friends. But I listened to a Lewis Howes podcast, and he shared that his partner actually appreciates the food as soon as it is on the table. And this could be for food that you prepared yourself. But this, of course, could also be for food that you ordered. This could be for food that people brought, that friends brought over. Appreciate all the hard work that went into this food, and that made it possible that this food is in front of you now. There's farmers, there's distributors, there's people working in the shops, there might be chefs if you're not the chef by yourself, and there are so many people involved. So why don't you try taking a moment, taking a step back, if you receive your next meal, take a look at it and appreciate that you can eat. There's so many people that cannot eat. There's so many people that cannot eat healthy food, especially. So I really invite you to take a look, to understand, and to go down that route in making an analysis of who was involved in creating your food. And thank those people. Thank those people for putting food on the table, whoever it may be. And I'm looking forward to hear from you guys, which delicious meals you enjoyed and what you appreciated most about them. Whenever you prepare to eat something, thank the meal for being there for you. And this leads me to exercise number 10. I call it nature and going for walks in nature. Whenever you feel a little bit sad or lonely, whenever you had a long day of work, why don't you try to go into nature and to really indulge what's happening? What can you feel? What do you smell? What do you see? What do you feel? Write down or just feel all those senses and see what nature can do to you. Be aware of nature. Be aware of the color of the trees and plants. Be aware of the sounds of the birds and other animals that you have around. And smell the plants in your city or in the countryside. Notice how your feet feel when you step on the ground. And notice how you feel if you reach nature and be calm. Of course, this is something you can combine with doing sports in nature. Go for a walk, go for a run, go for cycling. But I really invite you to go for small and slow walks. Because if you're not using music, if you're not doing exercise at the same time, you invite all the different feelings, you invite all the different impressions to come in, and you invite yourself to feel those. And I personally find it super relaxing to go for longer walks by myself, and of course also with friends. Over COVID, this is something that life has taught us. I went for very long walks every day with a friend, and I really like those walks. And sometimes, nevertheless, it's also good to go for a walk by yourself. Find a place in nature that you feel home with and just go for walks. And the last exercise I want to share with you on being more grateful and being more thankful in life is to share your gratitude with the world. Scientists have proven that sharing gratitude and hearing gratitude is much stronger than just writing it down or reading it. What do I mean by that? If somebody tells you what they are thankful for about you, it's much stronger than if you write it down for yourself. What does that mean? Well, it's super helpful to find somebody to team up with and to share gratitude and to be thankful for each other. This again could be a family member, it could be a friend, but it even could be a colleague at work. Find someone and do all the different steps, the ones that you like at least, that we've discussed earlier, and share it with them. Call up your buddy and tell him what you like about him most. Do it on a regular basis, because hearing what people are thankful for what you did is so strong that it will alter the experience of being alive for yourself and for your friend, of course. Verbally tell people what you are thankful for. This could be with your partner in a daily journal. This could be with a friend in a weekly call. This could be with your colleagues in daily or weekly meetings. And this could be with your family members. Use the first 5 minutes of a meeting, of an encounter, or of a phone call to tell each other what you like about each other. And this also works with random people on the street. Tell a stranger what you liked about their behavior, what you liked about what they did, or what you liked about how they look. Tell them why they are a great part of society and why you appreciate and value them. And last but not least, you want to try to send as much love and positivity to your enemies and people you dislike. Talk to people and let them know why they are awesome and why you appreciate them. And with that, I hope that you enjoyed this short episode on 11 steps, on 11 tools and exercises on how to be more grateful. Please let me know what you like about those exercises. And please let me know what other exercises you would like to share with the community. Before we finish up, I have some questions for you guys. Who is the person that you appreciate most today? When did you last call your parents? When was the last time you talked to your grandparents? When did you last help a stranger? And what did you do? What are your current gratitude practices? And what would you like to implement next to it? And why do you or don't you practice gratitude? And with that, I'm super excited to hear from you how you liked the episode on gratitude, and if you are practicing gratitude already, and or if this episode helped you to live a more thankful and a more grateful life. If you enjoy this podcast and learn from it, please feel free to share this episode with a friend or two, and make sure to subscribe to the Just Another Mindset podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please use the next 10 seconds to give the Just Another Mindset podcast a rating, and know that you will help me to create more meaningful content like this, and also that it will help other people to find this content and get inspired as well. If there is any future topic or guest that you would like to hear more about on the Just Another Mindset podcast, please let me know by leaving a comment on YouTube or sending a mail directly to contact@ismaelwondergarten.com. And if nobody told you lately, be reminded that you are worthy, you matter, and you can achieve anything.
Do more of what makes you happy.
Be yourself positive.
Change.
Just another mindset.